It seems like everything these days has become a card game. You got card game gambling, card game dungeon crawling, you got a League of Legends card game.
I think I'm gonna be sick.
Pokemon cards that sell for more than your paychecks.
10-year-old Ash Ketchum from Pallet Town.
And card games on motorcycles.
Card games on motorcycles.
It's a tried and true formula where years of psychological conditioning on us as kids getting scammed trading Yu-Gi-Oh cards for someone else's lunch since you were the only one who would eat leftover dinner for lunch the next day. So why not skip out on meals if you could get that rare card?
Do not bring Pokemon cards to school.
So card games are just things people love to play. And as with all gaming companies, Capcom had their attempt at it. Teppen, an online card game, which Destructoid said it's like Hearthstone meets Magic the Gathering with Capcom characters. Well, I guess it's an accurate title. And yet, for a company that sells in the numbers Square Enix could only dream about, with so many first-party characters from all your nostalgia, having a card game where the art looks this good and features more crossovers than Allen Iverson, I did not see anyone talking about it, which I feel is kinda saddening seeing how much effort was put into this that no one seemed to care. So, why was that? Was it the nature of the game? The monetization? The fact that they made that opening card packs not an actual card pack opening so you didn't get that ASMR dopamine hit?
Disappointed!
Let's find out. So in 2019, Capcom and Gung Ho Entertainment, makers of many online games and many online now offline games, and published that game,
Cheeky little brat!
announced Teppen, the ultimate card battle game for mobile devices featuring a diverse cast of popular Capcom characters. With ambitions of esports and a global launch, it still didn't get launched in Northern Europe. Maybe the weather was not appropriate for this card game. And you know, when it launched, it actually got pretty good reviews, as it felt unique, was fun, and was uniquely fun seeing all these iconic Capcom franchises together. At launch, you had Street Fighter, Resident Evil, Monster Hunter, Mega Man X, Devil May Cry, and Darkstalkers. And my goodness, look at this artwork. It's insane. It's got that realistic tone to the style, but painted in a way that you wouldn't mind seeing it in the Vatican. And because it's a crossover game, you got so many cards that feature multiple franchises on the card, which is peak fan service. And yet, with how many fans Capcom has, not a single video on it got over 100k views that wasn't the Devil May Cry remix songs in the game.
What the hell is this?
Now, to be fair, they are very good remixes. So as someone who doesn't know anything about this game, was it really a snooze fest as I'm led to believe? Well, the first time loading sure isn't a great start. What the heck? Why does it sound like a Final Fantasy boss fight? And you get the lore where...
Door, a false reality, or the truth they seek. Following the light, illuminating the darkest depths, unwittingly leads to judgment.
What just happened?
So, Ryu's fighting Rathalos? Then Morrigan?
I will keep on fighting. I know the answer lies ahead.
What answer?
Who are you talking to?
Look, you're really not coming here for the plot where the wiki goes. It focuses on many characters fighting to reach a world called the Land of Illusion, with many weird events happening in between, with this hooded lady smirking half the time, and yet every single cutscene is just a still image with text, with Ryu hating everyone he meets.
I know the answer lies ahead.
So it does teach you the gameplay, but luckily Capcom included a link to a YouTube video detailing what to do.
I installed Teppen, but I have no clue what to do.
Looks like you're in trouble. I'm a pro at Teppen, so I'll teach you.
Really? Thanks! I think I'll pick Ryu from Street Fighter.
Then let's use Ryu's hero art, Shinku Hadoken. You'll need a deck, but since it's your first time, you can borrow mine.
What's a deck?
I left my deck unprotected, and it was warped out of shape in no time.
Okay.
So the gameplay has you starting with 5 cards from your 30 card deck, and you have 30 health points and 4 mana. You build more mana as time goes on, and this is the cost to place the cards down. You then got 2 main types of cards, unit or action. unit you place here and they will shoot a blue line to the enemy side based on this number. And this is the health of the card. And so you attack the other side enemies to lower their health, and then if there's no cards there,
Life points directly!
then action cards are like the magic spell effect cards that will do something to your opponent. And when you place one down, the guide says the game becomes
Switches you to turn-based gameplay.
where now your opponent can place a counter spell and then you can return with another one and it will go off in reverse order. Then over time you're building a hero special which will have you pick from these heroes to use. Surprisingly, there still aren't that many, and they will do a flashy animation which does some effect like destroying cards in the field or giving you shields. And you have to win within 5 minutes or have the highest HP by the end. And that's pretty much it.
My head hurts.
Right?
And if you think that was simple, you haven't watched the pros play. Wow, I feel so inspired. I'm a first people online. But funnily enough, the ranked is still working where you can find people. Oh no, not someone from Japan.
I must have lost my composure.
You suck.
Yeah, so joining a card game 6 years into the life cycle is not good when you're playing catch-up. Everyone has all the meta cards, as yes, over the years the game would add more and more Capcom franchises in these big crossover themed events, complete with their own trailers. And so what you're left with, because you can't seem to win against anyone that isn't the computer, is the actual best thing about this game and why I wanted to talk about it. What, you're thinking a non-sponsored video about a card game? I'm not going to have a reason for talking about it. Is the card artworks themselves, because this art goes hard. Now, I'm doing the YouTuber thing where I lied to you in the first half of the video. I have, in fact, heard of Teppen, and I've tried to talk about it many times, because I am, or what you say, one of those people.
This is the 7th week in a row you've shown Ultra Lord in class!
I'm one of those old Ace Attorney diehard fans from the 2000s, who's fallen out of touch with the franchise due to Capcom not wanting to release a new numbered entry for the past 10 years. And keep in mind, Teppen came out before all of these remasters and Among Us collaborations that they are doing now, because out of nowhere in 2021, I see this trailer, complete with Phoenix Wright's English voice, speaking more lines than any of his games combined.
But I know that he didn't do it. I believe that my friend is innocent. And I'll save him. I promise. My assistant and I surveyed the scene.
Well, my dead franchise is not dead. It's just in a coma. And that was the heartbeat to re-kickstart that love. Like, what the heck? They all look so good in this art. What was this game? A full collaboration? It was 5 years since the last mainline game. And so I tried to let people know about it. It didn't go anywhere. And then again, they did another event for the 4th game, and I was baffled. In those years, I saw no one caring about this art, and it was so confusing. What do you mean that we now have official art of Maya and Sister from Ghost Trick, or Franziska arresting those little SOBs from Mega Man? It felt like I was the only one appreciating just how good the art looked for a franchise where nothing was happening. Now you got new art for characters we haven't seen in years, and it wasn't just a handful, they went all in. You have the cards with a typical objection pose like they're about to defend the Yakuza from money laundering, Larry looking like he's on a men's fashion ad, or Dahlia here looking so beautiful that I just might chug this blue pendant for her. And then you have the artist just picking whatever Capcom characters they wanted to cross over with them. Like you got Jill and Emma fighting over science, Frank eating ramen with Larry and Phoenix Wright, a monster from the hit series Monster Hunter breaking the courtroom that is sure to cause another Apollo backstory. To them really liking the worst case in the trilogy, yes, even he got a card before Athena Sykes. And ignoring my series bias, you can just scroll through all of their franchises and find some Capcom game that you have an attachment to that doesn't have an RE Engine remake in the works. So Teppen then became a really neat way to see more of the characters you thought they forgot about. Like they remembered Dino Crisis while Exoprimal is rotting in the graveyard. No, wait, even Exoprimal got its own cards. God, I love dinosaurs. Like, bro, what was the artist on to make the T-Rex look this goated? Man, he looks so confident until he hears the Spinosaurus roar in the distance. Why yes, Capcom, I would love to see Regina and Leon kick butt together. You even got their franchises that video essays will make a 1-hour video recapping the story on. And of course, the Capcom darling franchise is getting so many cards, to Resident Evil, the moneymaker, having the most of them, where you can tell they were told to milk it as much as possible. Like, what do you mean the zombie dogs get their own holographic rare animated cards? And I think the greatest thing is that they were all drawn by many artists around the world, and they all managed to keep the characters mostly on model. Yeah, mostly. I think that's the most impressive thing, where for years, any game that has 2D art that is consistently releasing new updates and characters, they will get guest artists that are so different that these two arts can be for the same character, while Teppen hired all these artists who managed to keep their art style consistent for every franchise they drew, for every character, humanoid or not. They all feel like they live and breathe in this world, and it just feels so good to have another Capcom collab game. Rest in peace, Marvel vs. But remember, Teppen is nothing important, because yes, at the end of the day, it is still a mobile gacha game, and they monetize it the usual way, so most people instantly dismissed all of this, because surely you would have to pay oodles of cash when you get the game to get your favorite cards. I don't know, it was pretty easy for me to do it without paying. Finally, my K Faraday collection grows. If only I bought that damn luggage. And also, if you didn't get the cards that you wanted, it's just a PNG. You could do this to them. I think what I'm guessing is that it's most people who were not fans of Ace Attorney or all these franchises before 2020, before Capcom's big revival. Like for instance, Ace Attorney, Capcom was giving us nothing every single year. Every year, they would just announce no game, even though we kind of knew there was meant to be games, which is why I reacted the way I did then. That they took this effort to make 3 Ace Attorney collabs, all this amazing artwork, all these characters the games have forgotten. I appreciate you, Teppen art. When most gacha games are falling into that Genshin art style, I at least like to take note of when some of them try to be unique, and that these artists were paid to draw some Capcom fanfic. It's really cool. I guess someone really loves the old bag, and they are bringing back all these characters who haven't been in a game since burgers cost $2.50. I know I'm speaking mostly from the Ace Attorney side of Capcom, but I know there are like 3 fans of Dino Crisis, and did you think you would see anything on Lost Planet now? As yeah, they would do these many updates to signify new cards and all that meta, because remember, they were also trying for that esports money, and it sure did get an esports with a fairly significant prize pool that naturally went lower as the years went on. But with that lower money, you could also maybe wonder it wasn't making as much profit as Capcom would have liked, as they didn't really announce any profits. But I guess people were buying things because they kept making all these cool cards. And so, as with most online games, the player numbers dwindled despite new updates consistently, with people even a year ago thinking everything was fine. And thus it was announced just 3 days before Christmas,
Get a load of this guy.
in 2025, that the game would be ending on March 30th, 2026. However, the most amazing thing about all of this is that Capcom said they're making an offline mode so that you could keep playing the very minimal story, or continue to do those events where you can fight Edgeworth in a card game. So wow, okay, that's very cool of you, as it's a way to preserve all of this amazing art and let people who discover this afterwards to see what this was all about, because I don't think it was just nothing important. And no, I'm not suggesting this game is worthy of your time, but the fact that it even exists outside of the money making, that it was able to give us all this really cool art and things to admire from our favorite old Capcom games, and I hope that more people can at least appreciate this. When Capcom has so many dormant IPs that they don't do anything with, it was nice seeing them be brought back in this way, at least, where it's not like a China only cafe that you can buy merch in only if you're in China and in that specific time frame. This was something that everyone could participate in. But in the end, it's kind of sad that this means we won't be seeing any new cards of any new characters, like the Monster Hunter Wild characters, and I'm sure they could have kept the game alive for another whole year just of Leon's Resident Evil 9 design, because oh my goodness, dude!
Oh no, he's hot!
And, you know, the gamer girls are really gonna like it.
Trojan, Ramses, Magnum, Sheik.